this a great day? Aren't you glad that God has blessed us? We got snow, rain, and attitudes all at the same time. You can't go wrong like that. Okay, everybody take your seats, all these beautiful, beautiful women. You know what they say, if you want to get it done, get a woman involved. But if you want it to stick, get the man too. Because, we jump. I like this now. No, I don't like that. I'm going to move that. The man always in the background saying, look, baby, let it roll. Let us have a few days with it before you change it. Okay, I think we're settling down. Everybody breathe. Let your jacket loose. Don't take your hair off. But shake it around a little bit so you know. You know what? I have new lips. My daughter blessed me with a new lipstick. She said, nobody can see your lips, Mommy. They can see them now. I can't even look down and I can see them. We're celebrating. Did you buy everything, darling? Okay, I just don't want you to be without. We are celebrating women who tell our stories. It's not just their story, but our stories. Our stories. And we're living in an age where we need stories. We used to call them parables, or more like people be telling their cycle and telling their story, and everybody be like, I'm so sick of hearing so-and-so's story. But think back at the people that were doing that when you were younger, and if they're not here now, aren't you glad you listened to their story? That's how we train each other and love each other and remember each other. It's your story. Tell your story. I'm a WELLO, Water Education for Latino Leaders, and that's what we did for 9 months. We listened to each story, and those are stories I will take to the grave with me, because it taught me how important everyone is, no matter who you are and where you are. So welcome to the Rialto 17th Annual The State of Women event. You don't know who I am. I'm Mayor Aquanetta Warren from the city of Fontana. And I'm serving as your mistress of ceremony today. And you're probably saying, what the heck is Fontana doing? It's a Rialto event. We don't roll like that in this region. We work with everybody. We work with everybody. When Deborah has something, Mayor Robertson, I gotta remember, because we start calling our nicknames around here. You don't want to hear those. When Mayor Robertson has something, she'll get on that phone and call me, and vice versa. We got our new mayor here from San Bernardino. She's already learning how to maneuver those phone calls too, like, let me get my girls to come and help me, right? I'm looking at Council Member Joe Bach. He's probably saying, you know what? They better start talking about the men folk in here. Unfortunately, the California State Treasurer, Fiona Mai, was unable to attend, and she sends her regrets. So, let's continue to pray for her efforts. She's doing a phenomenal job in this state, but it's all good. But if you recall, last year she was our keynote speaker, and did she turn it out, ladies? Yes. She turned it out. So we gave her grace and said, okay, but you got to be here next year. Now, March is National Women's History Month. The theme this year is celebrating women who tell our stories, which encourages the recognition of women past and present who have been active in all forms of media and storytelling, including print, TV, internet, stage, screen, blogs, podcasts, and more. The importance of knowing the stories of women's lives, women's stories, and the lessons they share expand our understanding and strengthen our connections with each other. You know, we don't even know we've been telling stories all our life. You make a phone call and you're complaining about your child to your friend. That's telling your story. And at the end you say, you know, I want to kill him, but I love him, right? You're telling your story. And your story must end well when you're having those discussions. Why is this so important? Storytelling is the first opportunity for Black folks to represent themselves as anything other than property. Is that a strong message? We were in a historical time, space, where we were only considered property. Those of you that know my good friend, Senator Rod Wright, he tells the auction poem where they're auctioning off this woman. And he's describing all the things that a slave owner would want when they buy somebody. What really caught my attention is when he makes the comment, ignore those tears. She does that. Ignore those tears. Can you imagine being put on a stage, stripped of your clothing, told to turn around, look at her leg, look at her foot, look at her head. She'll bore children. She'll work hard for you. That was a space in this history that we never want to see again. Is that right? Oh, yeah. According to the late Congressman John Lewis, he said, the movement without storytelling is like birds without wings. History taught in schools, they're always masculine stories, he. Every once in a while you hear them, his. So for women, storytelling is a way for us to say we're here too. We count too. The purpose, promise, and power of storytelling. Dr. Santiago Estrada, author and storyteller and psychologist, speaks of her mother, Guadalupe, who migrated to the United States from Mexico in 1924. The same year, she gave birth to her first child, a daughter. She had 4 sons and 3 daughters. The last in 1945 was Santiago. Although she could not read or write English or Spanish, she was the accountant and the commander-in-chief of the family. Guadalupe suffered great hardship, poverty, and discrimination. Yet her motto was, if you're not enjoying life, change your attitude. Isn't that powerful? And nobody, you know, I've been in events where the African Americans got their story, the Latinos got their story, the whites got their story. All these people have these different stories, but when they really come together, they find out that they all share one major item. Telling their story provides the power everybody's trying to obtain. So, I have the honor of introducing the great mayor of Rialto at this time, Mayor Deborah Robertson, to give the welcome. Please join us. And of course, she's got on my favorite color on her, that beautiful pink. Let's all say, you go, girl. You go, girl. Okay, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. I'm so excited that all of you guys could come to what I say my garage party. It's a wonderful morning. Look at just look at us. We managed to continue to prevail. Now, you guys have seen me walking around with my black coat on. But I thought,
you need to have the benefit of seeing this dress, because you won't see it again, okay? Okay. You got a little bling bling, okay? Hopefully my daughter's not paying this. And you know, I was in Palm Springs. I love it. Yeah, oh, by the way, I've got some lipstick too. Matter of fact, talk about lipstick. We were in Washington, D.C. in January, U.S. Conference of Mayors. And everything was going well until my twin showed up. All of a sudden, everybody started congratulating me on my win for the city of L.A. Right? It happens all the time. And I know it. And so I got tired of telling people I was not caring. Even when I was with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson, her staff came over and thanked me. I said, really? So finally, when I got with Karen, we were in the gold room at the White House, I told Karen, I said, I am tired of explaining that I am not you. So the next person who comes up and congratulates me on my historic win, I'm going to tell them, you know, it was a really rough one. You saw that amount of money that I had to go up against. So I do need to retire a debt. So if you just would like to make a donation, you can send it to P.O. Box 85. She fell out. Well, we took a wonderful picture. My granddaughter's in the room, and I love her dearly. And I sent it to her. And when she sent it back, she says, Grandma, beautiful picture. She said, but you didn't have any lipstick on. So she photoshopped my picture and put me some red lipstick on. I'll send it to you guys. So now Karen and I, we both have red lipstick on. Karen had hers, I didn't have mine. You know, last week I was in Palm Springs, and you know the weather started, and it was a blizzard and everything. And I was there on a water panel, and it was wonderful. But when I had needed to leave, everybody knows me. I shop, just shop. It's therapy. And it was dreary, cold. The snow was at 2,000 level, blanketing Palm Springs. I went into the gift shop, and the lady was so nice, and she had such wonderful shades. And I ended up buying 3 pairs of shades. And so, guys, Tuesday night I wore these to council. I said, there's got to be some sun somewhere, okay? Compliments of Palm Springs, okay. And then last night, well, I didn't wear anything, but they're with me. Last night, after help to set this up, it's beautiful, please give the staff of the city of Rialto, especially led by Maria Rodriguez, and of course, like we said, the taskmaster, Miss Barbara McGee, who is now always making, and is our elected official. Well, when I finished that, I ran over to our police department was having an awards ceremony. And my colleague, Councilmember Joe Baca, he was there. And he had to slide out. He didn't go to the end, but I did. And when we ended, typical, we ended at about 9:49. I was in your city. I used the Hilton. We used the Hilton on Sierra and south of the 10, and really no boundaries. So thank you for the hospitality. It was wonderful. It really was. But of course, I looked over as I was leaving, and I saw that her mall was still open. So I had to stop and shop last night at 10 o'clock. All right. And I managed to get a wonderful pair of shoes. So I came in here this morning with 3 pairs of shoes. All right. Because if you know me, I'm in the big girl shoes right now. I'll be back in the lower ones. I just want to say to all of you guys, thank you. Telling the story is so important. We've managed to make it through a historic pandemic. How many of you are here? No, I won't say that. But the last one was in 1929. My mother was born in 1928. And she, of course, is no longer with us. So we have come through a lot. We have come through a lot. But Mayor Warren is talking about, there's a period in our history, ancestors, where we came through a lot. But collectively, all of us in this room has definitely come through a lot. Some of us have been hit with some tragedy, but we're still here. My sister-in-law, but I call her my sister, her husband says to me all the time when I see him, and he has a T-shirt. It says, "I'm still here." And so, and every time I see him, "I'm still here." And he says, in the morning, "I'm still here." And I said to him, "And I'm still standing." So I want you ladies and gentlemen to join with me from now on, because I'm going to do a chant in here. When I say, "I'm still here," in honor of my brother-in-law, Artist Gilbert, I want you to say, because I'm sure he would appreciate it, we are all still, I'm still standing. So 1, 2, I'm still here.
I'm still standing.
I'm still here. I'm still standing. I'm still here.
I'm still standing.
And I'm going to close and say something that I've said to a lady who drawed me in with a beautiful smile this morning. Smiles are powerful. Smiles cause you to want to get to know each other, interact. And so, when you're looking at everybody, remember, give them a smile. That will cause that there's an indication, no matter who you are, that we are willing to get engaged, interact, be supportive, and know that we're all in one village. Now, she said we won't call the names. She's Mayor Warren, but we call her Q. If you hear her say, "Oh, where's Q?" Q. Or we also call her, the really wonderful one I love, is Aki. We call her Aki. Now, a lot of you may not know, but my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law, my family knows, my name in the family is Hawkeye. Hawkeye sees everything, right? Hawkeye knows everything. And Hawkeye is off into everything. So with that, I want to say thank you. I want to acknowledge that I have my colleagues here. Would you please stand? Because we're doing a tag team thing now. Give a round of applause for Councilmember Joe Baca, former Congress member. And I asked him, where's Barbara? He says, Barbara said after 34 years, she can miss one. But I want to say publicly, because I have a tendency to do this, so nobody, then they got to go do it. They can't take it back. I want you guys to know that Congressman, now Councilmember Joe Baca, has done a lot in our community. He helped to shepherd and lead us out of a situation when we had to close the General Aviation Airport. And he did it in a bipartisan relationship to make it happen, a historic event in Rialto, because government doesn't normally close aviation airports, and he didn't. They recommissioned it. So, but I'm not gonna, come November, acknowledge him for that. I'm gonna, come November, induct him into the Hall of Fame, the Sports Hall of Fame, for leading the congressional baseball team for many years in Congress, and also golf, and also, if I'm not mistaken, you'll read it all. He also, oh, you did basketball too? Oh, basketball. But he also, I believe, acknowledged and gave congressional recognition to Arnold Palmer, if I'm not mistaken. So see, again, little Rialto, real mighty, but we do some great things. Enjoy the rest of this presentation, this program, and please shop with the vendors. We brought it here, so shop local, please. Thank you.
Let's give our mayor another big hand. Next, I have the honor and pleasure of introducing R.J. Jackson. She's going to give us an inspirational reading. Give it up for her.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, that was half of you on this side of the room. How about everybody? Good morning.
Good morning.
Awesome. I'm honored to be here. To the men, we appreciate you being here. We all understand we're nothing without you. But this morning, I want to talk to the ladies in the room. So ladies, are you listening? Yes. Awesome. Because I want you to gather around and listen well. I'm going to have a story to tell. And don't worry, Barbara, it will be brief. Today is March. What is it? March what? 4th. Today is the only day in the year that tells us exactly what to do, how to get past, our pain, and what? March 4th. And so today, as we still stand, we are going to March 4th. Everybody say March 4th. March 4th. And that's what we're going to do. So I want to give you a message of hope and courage. That's what I want to tell. I want you to march forth with strength in your heart because the world needs you for a better start. There is a cure for the pain you see, a cure for the fear that's gripping thee. There's peace of mind, and it belongs to you. There's a future waiting, and it's clear for you to get through. Yes, there are obstacles we can't help but go around and sometimes go over. But today, I want to remind you it's important to march forth and get through. It's time to overcome the obstacles, rise above for a brighter future filled with love. Hope is within you, burning bright like a beacon of light in the darkest of night. With courage in your heart and faith in your soul, march forth, my sister. It's time to be bold. Let your voices of hope be heard above your cry. Remember that you are beautiful, you are strong, and you will get by. Let us lift each other up and hold each other tight as we stand in solidarity and fight for what's right. We are a force of sisterhood divine, marching forth hand in hand for such a time. So let us join together and rise to the call, marching forth with hope, courage, and awe. We are women, and we shall not be broken, marching forth with our hearts wide open.
Let's give her a bigger hand. That was amazing. We'll next have our Pledge of Allegiance by Lauren Macy, who happens to be part of the Randall Lewis Health and Policy Fellowship. And then we're going to have our national anthem sung by Shanita Simmons. Can they both please come to the stage? At this time, if everyone would stand.
Good morning. Okay. Good morning. Thank you, everyone, for being here. I'm going to go ahead and start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming,
all be seated. Thank you so much. Let's give her another hand, everyone. That was beautiful. I tell you, every year this event just gets bigger, better, and bolder. And it is just, we've just started. We haven't even got into the main program yet. But at this time, I'd like to announce the dignitaries, but I'm gonna need your help. We have a thing that we do, and I think we got this from former council member Ricky Johnson in San Bernardino at one of the prayer breakfasts. I'm gonna call the name and we're gonna all cooperate, okay? You're gonna clap one time. Now, as I call your name, we'd like you to come forward because we'd like to have a picture with all of us on the stage, okay? I would like to start with Rialto Mayor Deborah Robertson. Come on up, Deborah. I know that was difficult for a lot of you. That's why I'm not gonna call my name, because I know you guys go crazy. Council member, we need you to come to the stage as we call your name. Raphael Truligi. Is he here? Okay. Okay. Rialto Council Member Joe Baca. Rialto City Clerk Barbara McGee. Now, I'm gonna see if the other dignitaries understand it's time to come up. San Bernardino Mayor Helen Tran. San Bernardino Council Member Sandra Ibarra. San Bernardino Council Member Kimberly Calvin. Come on the stage. Okay. Hey, look, we're politicians. Don't expect, we make decisions. Let's not talk about directions, okay? Taking them at that. Okay? Now, give a little grace here. Fontana Mayor Aquanetta Warren. I'm already up here. City Clerk from Fontana, Jermaine Key. Dr. Gwendolyn Dowdy Rogers, San Bernardino County Board of Education. You see how Gwen jumped up? She must be an educator. We have representatives, Daisy Gomez from Assemblymember James Ramos' office, and we have a representative, Marlandra Johnson, from County Supervisor Joe Baca, Jr. Now, we have Angie Garcia, West Valley Water District. Okay, you see how she jumped up? She got kids. She knows what to do. San Bernardino Community College District, Joseph Williams. He brought his wife. She poked him in the back. So get up. We have Gloria Harrison. I know I saw her. She's coming. Oh, she had to go? Okay. See, the husband had to tell about the other lady. Okay. You know what? We have the North American Palette president, Jessica Torres, here. Let's give it up for Jessica. Okay. And we'll be hearing more about her later, but she is amazing. Diane Rodriguez, the chancellor for San Bernardino Community College District. Now, let's see. I see we have some other people in the audience. Did I forget anybody? Any more electeds? Can we have our guest speaker, Darcy Phillips, please join us also.
Wonderful women.
Now, this is the time we've all been waiting for, except for the dignitaries to sit down. And you know what? It takes a dignitary to talk about another dignitary, so don't get crazy on me. I'm going to have some fun up here. I'm always having fun because I'm like that quote, if you're not having a good life, change your attitude. And I don't ever let things they might get away with me about a couple of minutes, but then when I go outside and see the sky and that I can actually breathe the air, suddenly I change my tone. We have a dynamic keynote speaker. Dynamic. I want to read a short bio on her, and then we're going to have her come up and give those words. Darsha Phillips is an Emmy-nominated general assignment reporter for NBC4, reporting weekdays on NBC4 News at 4 p.m., 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and on weekends on NBC News at 5 p.m., 6 p.m., and 11 p.m. Darsha has covered countless breaking news stories for NBC4 across all newscasts, and her creative approach to stories and deep knowledge of communities throughout Southern California have been invaluable to the news team. Phillips also has a passion for reporting inspiring stories of people and diverse neighborhoods in the Southland. She graduated from UC Irvine with a degree in architect. She was born in Canada and moved to the United States at 8 months old, growing up in Arcadia. She lives with her husband and children in Inglewood, along with her rescue dog. She is a self-proclaimed foodie and loves to cook Indian food, carrying on her mother's tradition. Please, let's put our hands together for our great keynote speaker, Darsha Phillips.
Woo! What a room, you guys. This is amazing. I already feel inspired just by being here and looking at all of you guys. It's just wonderful. So good morning. It is an honor to be here at the State of Women event, celebrating women, women's history, and women who tell our stories. Earlier this year, I had the great privilege of attending and covering the mayoral inauguration of Los Angeles' first female mayor, Karen Bass. Yep. It was historic. Youth Poet Laureate Amanda Gorman performed an original poem, Stevie Wonder took the stage, and Karen Bass was sworn in by our first female vice president, Kamala Harris. Mothers and fathers brought their young daughters and pointed to the stage and told them, look what you can do now. It was electrifying and it was emotional. And I had this moment looking around, feeling so grateful to be there, to witness this, to cover it. So grateful that this was finally happening. But then there was this little voice in my head that said, really? It took Los Angeles 240 years to elect a woman into that office? Really? Right. As young girls, the stories that are told to us condition us to be grateful. Keep your head down, stay the course, and one day you'll get your chance to be noticed. One day, someone will save you. You know, one of the most retold stories in pop culture is the tale of Cinderella. Y'all know it. Poor girl, bullied by the women in her life, dreams of change, keeps her head down, does her chores, and a fairy godmother recognizes her good deeds, gives her a beautiful dress, sends her to a ball where she meets a prince who gives her her happily ever after. Almost every romantic comedy has some iteration of Cinderella. This was the story that was written for us. And the world did a really good job of making us believe that was our story. I mean, it did take 240 years for a progressive city like Los Angeles to finally elect a female mayor. But that's not our story. Far from it. I guarantee you, all of the women on that stage at that mayoral inauguration didn't keep their heads down. They didn't stay the course. They didn't wait to be noticed. And they sure as hell didn't need saving. But still, the stark reality is those women are the exception, not the rule. Women are underrepresented in government. Our current Congress is the most diverse it has ever been, but only 27% is comprised of women when we make up 51% of the population. Women still make much less than men in the workforce. Women in this country make 77% of what their male counterparts earn. Black women earn 64 cents for every dollar earned by a white man, and Latinas 54 cents for every dollar earned. We earn less, but we pay more. The pink tax, it's a real thing. Items like razors and shampoos for women cost more than those same items for men. Toys and accessories for girls are roughly 7% higher. We make up 51% of the population, yet we are minorities in Fortune 500 companies, tech companies, the media, and in film and television, our stories are told far less than the stories of men. Women are more often the victims of domestic violence, sexual harassment, human trafficking. And we're more likely to be injured in a car accident. Why? Because seatbelts are designed for men. Women still do more of the household chores. Over time, we earn less, we save less, and have to work longer. These things, these systems, they need changing. And the time of being grateful for incremental change has passed. We can no longer afford to keep our heads down, stay the course, simply take the road. We must make the road. So how do we do that? Well, a good place to start, throw away those stories that were written for us, and I mean it. One of the issues I have with Cinderella and other stories like it is that when the main character is female, almost always the antagonist is another woman. The wicked stepmother, the evil stepsisters, Maleficent, Ursula, the wicked witch, the wicked queen. The list goes on and on and on and on. And when we aren't pitted against each other in these fairy tales, we're just written out of the story altogether. Take The Lion King. It's a beautiful tale about the king of the jungle. But wait, lions aren't the kings of the jungle. You may not know this, but it is the lionesses who are the leaders of the pride. And let's pause for a second to not confuse leadership with dominance. Dominance has more to do with competition between individuals. Leadership is something that happens because there is a problem that needs to be solved, and it takes coordinated action. Prides are run by generations of female lions who own and defend territory together. Research has shown that female lions in a pride have a sisterhood. They hunt together, feed their families together, raise their cubs together, rely on one another for protection. This happens naturally in the wild. So how did those fairy tales get it so wrong? Maybe because these were stories written about us, for us, but not by us. Women are not enemies. Many of us have been conditioned to believe we are, that there's only one seat at that table, space for only one of us. And when we get there, some of us feel we have to act like a lion instead of a lioness, compete, show dominance, rather than work together. When I was pregnant with my first child, I was working for another station here in Los Angeles. I was about 8 months pregnant. My executive producer at the time was a woman. I was working the morning show, and we had a big storm coming in. And when covering the news out in the field, you need bathroom breaks, especially when you're 8 months pregnant. Well, this massive storm was breaking news. I walk into the newsroom at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the first thing my executive producer says to me is, Darsha, we're in wall-to-wall coverage. We need you in front of the camera for the entire 3-hour show, and we may stay on for another hour after that, so no bathroom breaks. I looked at her, and I said, you're joking, right? I mean, we're gonna need to use the bathroom. And she turned to me and said, I'm not joking. Don't drink any water. Wear a diaper if you have to. No bathroom breaks. She said this in front of the newsroom. There were men and other women there, and they all just kind of put their heads down. I can't speak for that executive producer, but in that moment, it definitely felt like she was assuming one of those conditioned roles of being the antagonist, throwing her weight around, showing her dominance. For me, I was a young reporter, pregnant with my first child, and as women, we often have to deal with people like this, who choose to be a lion instead of a lioness. Being a woman in this business, being a woman of color in this business, I spent a lot of time being grateful. Grateful for the opportunity, grateful for being paid for doing a job I love, grateful for any acknowledgement of my work. But being grateful, as all of those fairy tales told us, can also be synonymous with keeping your head down, staying the course, not rocking the boat. Too often we are told to be small, to take up less space, to not be loud. We raise our girls this way. I mean, I was not that little girl. My sister's here in the audience, she'll tell you. When people ask me what I would tell my younger self, I always say I wouldn't tell her anything. She was a badass. She was way cooler than I am today. And my younger self would have given that executive producer a piece of her mind. But my older self had been made small, made to feel like she should be grateful for the little space I had been given. Well, I'm here to tell you, we can be grateful and also demand what we deserve. Suffice to say, I do not work for that station anymore. I now work for a station where the women and the men lift me up. And when I was pregnant with my second child, I got plenty of bathroom breaks. So lionesses, if you are in a position of power, or when you get to those positions of power, those leadership roles, when you become the CEO of a Fortune 500 company and you look around the table and you are the only woman in the room, reach down and pull the next woman up with you. We are allies, not enemies. You may be the first, but you must ensure you won't be the last. Encourage, mentor, make space, pave a path, rewrite the story. We owe a lot to the women who came before us, but we also owe something to the women who come after us. We have to show them that it is possible and help them get there. That is the only way real progress is made. Now, another thing to remember, you can lead like a lioness no matter where you are in your journey. My first job in TV news was in Billings, Montana, really small town. The business is pretty competitive even in a place like that, believe it or not. We were all setting up for a pretty big press conference with the governor, and one of the reporter-photographer crews had a camera cable that wasn't working, and their backup cable wasn't long enough, which meant they couldn't record the press conference. They couldn't cover the story. I was working for the NBC station. This crew, a female reporter and male photographer, were with the CBS station, which was the dominant news leader in that market. All the other crews kind of chuckled at CBS's predicament. Many had extra cables. None offered to let them borrow one. My photographer had an extra cable, and I told him to let them use it. At first, he was like, "No way, they're the competition." And I said to him, "We don't win if the opponent is out of the game because of bad luck, and we all kick them when they were down. We win when we tell the better story." So whether you are in a corner office, raising kids at home, or a scrappy reporter in a small town, lead like a lioness. Now, something to also keep in mind, no matter where you are in your journey, the kids are always watching. When I was in Billings, Montana, I mentioned it was a small town. No one there looked like me. I mean, there were other women on TV, of course, but I was probably the only Indian, Sri Lankan woman in that entire town. One day, I was shopping at the Walmart because that was the only place to shop there. And this woman comes up to me, and she had sandy blonde hair and big brown eyes, and she was ecstatic to see me. She says to me, "My daughters love seeing you on TV. They're 6 years old, and they watch you every day. They wait all day for the news to come on just to see you." Then she says, "They're in the car with their dad. Will you come out and meet them?" Well, it gets pretty cold in Montana. But this was pretty cool for me. I had fans, even if they were only 6 years old. So I walk out to the parking lot, and the woman goes to the minivan, and she wakes these kids up because they were sleeping. And out of the minivan comes these two little twin Indian girls. And they race up to me, and they hug me, and they touch my face with these big smiles on their faces. They start to giggle, and they ask me a million questions. You see, their mother and father had adopted them when they were babies from India, and they had never met another person who looked like them. And when they saw me on TV, their mother told me she witnessed them become more confident, more brave, more bold. On your journey, on your way up to the top, you are making a difference. Little girls are watching, dreaming, and starting to believe. So lead like a lioness. And to the men in the room, you can also lead like a lioness. This is not just for the women. Okay? Working together is for everyone. And honestly, I applaud all of you for being here. I mean, I have a son. Every day I try to instill in him what I see in all of you. Just by being here, you are supporters. You are allies. You understand that we are not here to take a piece of your pie. We're here to make the whole pie bigger. And in doing that, there is a brighter future for everyone, for you, for your daughters, and for your sons. Because you see, lionesses, we are a formidable force. Together, we are stronger. We are not each other's enemies. When we work together, we can solve problems, protect our children, our bodies, our earth. When a woman stands up, when she takes a chance, when she speaks her mind, she is never alone. Her struggles are our struggles. Her success is our success. We solve these problems, these inequalities, these inequities together. That is where our power is. That is where the solutions lie. We're not waiting to be saved, but we will save each other. Now, I want to leave you with this. It is not lost on me that I stand here on this stage, a journalist, a woman who tells our stories. Every day, I seek to tell the stories of women, of communities that are overlooked, of the marginalized, because there is value, importance, and power in everyone's story. There's an Emmy nomination next to my name, and it's because of a story I found, I pitched, and I pushed to cover. The story followed an all-black girls soccer team from South Los Angeles who didn't have a field to practice on and endured racial slurs from other teams. But those girls supported one another, lifted each other up, and went on to become league champions. When we tell the stories of the women who lead, the women who persevere, who keep their heads up and make the path, we inspire others. We rewrite the story and we tell a better story. We make the world realize it wasn't a prince she needed, it was purpose she wanted. She was never looking for a knight. She was always searching for a sword. Thank you.
I'm just so honored as the mayor of Fontana to present this to this wonderful, amazing sister of mine. Don't you feel like when she was talking, she's our sister. So on behalf of the city of Fontana, where we have over 220,000 residents, we just stopped by to tell you thank you.
And Darsha, I want to provide you with another certificate of recognition, and this is provided to you by the County of San Bernardino. All of the supervisors have signed it here, and they just said to present this by the County Board of Supervisors. We thank you for your participation in the State of Women's 2023 National Women's History Month event, and was signed by all of them. So on behalf of them, I want to present that for them.
Thank you.
And Ms. Phillips, on the behalf of the city of Rialto, we would like to present you with the gift basket. And the reason why we're doing this so early, she has to leave. She has a pre-engagement that she needs to get to. So we just want to rush her out. And if you need to get pictures with her, you want to probably catch her going out. So thank you.
Now, as she leaves the stage, she made reference to her sister. And I just want to know that you just saw some talent, but we also have that talent here in the city of Rialto. And I'm going to put her on the spot and have her stand up and be acknowledged. She is our Director of Human Resources, City of Rialto, Shama. Okay? And it's just amazing to have such a wealth of resources and skills to tap into. And so thank you so much. And I told Shama every time her sister comes on, ABC, I record the series. I'm saving it so that I can just say, I'm going to keep looking and seeing. I'm so happy to see you there. Thank you.
NBC. Okay. We're going to have a song right now from Shanita Simmons. Here she comes. Let's give it up for her.
Life is like a big merry-go-round. You're up and then down, going through circles trying to get to where you are. Everybody's been counting you out, but where are they now? Sitting in the same old place, just faces in the crowd. We all make mistakes, you might fall on your face, but you gotta get up. I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, 'cause I am a conqueror, and I don't accept defeat. Try telling me no. One thing about me is I am a conqueror. I am a conqueror. Oh, I got a vision that no one else sees. A lot of dirty work, roll up your sleeves. Remember, there's a war out there, so come prepared to fight. You never know where the road leads you. Not everyone's gonna believe you. And even though they're wrong, don't prove them right. I'd rather stand tall than live on my knees, 'cause I am a conqueror, and I don't accept defeat. Try telling me no. One thing about me is I am a conqueror. I am a conqueror. Ooh. Ooh. I am a conqueror. Oh, we all make mistakes. You might fall on your face, but you gotta get up. Yeah. We all make mistakes. You might fall on your face. Don't ever give up. Then live on my knees, 'cause I am a conqueror, and I don't accept defeat. Try telling me no. One thing about me is I am a conqueror. I am a conqueror. Oh. I am a conqueror. We all make mistakes. You might fall on your face. Don't ever give up. We all make mistakes. You might
shall face, but we are conquerors.
I tell you, if you are not happy in your heart right now, you better go get checked. You know, when we look at all the things that affect we women, particularly, it should bring us to tears, but it should bring us to joy because we are conquerors. We are. Everybody in here has a story of how they had to overcome something, but they're here and they're still standing. Now, it's that time in the program where we're going to award to two of our jewels. Isn't that a great name for an award? I got my one good jewel. I know because I'm still paying on it. And it means a lot to me. And when I get home, when I wear it, it goes into that nice little cloth. And then all that other stuff, it just sits out on the counter. Grandkids play with it, daughter borrow it, whatever it takes. But your jewels mean a lot. So at this time, we're going to bring our mayor up here, and she's going to do a recognition, as well as she's going to introduce our jewels.
Well, thank you. Thank you again. Let's give our MC, she's not going anywhere yet, but please give Q a round of applause. Please, thank you. I mean, we really are a great tag team. And I just want to make a note when we talk about the Lioness, but also we work as allies together. I want you guys to know this, because there's dynamic things that are always happening in San Bernardino County. But I am so blessed, and I want to point this out. I have a dynamic mayor, Aquanetta Warren, to my west. I now have an exciting, effervescent, dynamic mayor, female mayor, Helen Tran, to the east, San Bernardino. And then to my south, I share the county border and city border with the city of Riverside. And I have a dynamic mayor in Riverside with Mayor Patricia Dawson. So we are well covered, okay? So watch out, because we are going to continue to move our community and this county forward. So I don't want her to go away, but she and I wanted her to be a part of this. This person could not be with us, but her daughter is also a local elected official. She couldn't be with us. And I believe she's the vice mayor now in the city of Rancho Cucamonga. But she's followed in her mother's steps. It talks to being there and letting our young see us and decide which way they want to go. And I wanted to take a moment today just to give a special recognition to Miss Betty Anderson, who is still with us. There's a picture of her. That is Lynn Kennedy's mother. And Miss Anderson, as well as her husband and Lynn's father, they are still with us. Her mother, I think she told me she's coming up on her, 93rd birthday. And she was the second African-American female to be elected as a council member in the city of San Bernardino, the first being Valerie Pope London. And so I just wanted to say, there's women who have led the way, and they're still with us. And I wanted Lynn to be here, but I wanted people to know that Miss Anderson, she does require home care, but she's still with us. She's still in her home. And just keep her in your prayers. Keep both of them in your prayers. And know that I was blessed to be in office while she was in office. And now we have, again, we have many who have come behind her. There was Basine Little John, Little Richard, and she was council member. And now we also have the most recent one, and all of them I shared the border with, on the east end of our city and the west end of San Bernardino. And now we have Kimberly. Where's Kimberly out there? Oh, Kimberly in front of a Kimberly house. All of these ladies are they're focused on wanting to move San Bernardino forward, wanting to move the community forward. And I just applaud having them stand with me and we get things done. So a round of applause for Miss Betty Anderson. Thank you, thank you. The first Jewel Award recipient, Chancellor Diane Rodriguez. You can start up because she has a little slow walk there. So while she's walking, I'm going to say, Chancellor Rodriguez is the first in her family to achieve a college education. She is a proud graduate of Palo Verde College and a transfer student to California State University, San Bernardino, where she earned a bachelor's degree in marketing, a master's degree in business administration, and another master's degree in education. Chancellor Rodriguez previously served as president of the San Bernardino Valley College from July 2016 through July 2021. During her tenure, SBVC faculty and staff spearheaded educational strategies to earn the campus the highest level of accreditation among the best in California. Chancellor Rodriguez has a long and distinguished career of more than 30 years working in higher education as a faculty member and an administrator, advocating for student success and a strong connection to the community. Before leading San Bernardino Valley College, she served as Vice President of Student Services and Interim Vice President of Academic Services at Los Positos College in the Bay Area of California and Vice President of Student Services at Palo Verde College in Blythe. Chancellor Rodriguez is the Chief Executive Officer of the San Bernardino Community College District, a system that adds more than $621 million to the regional economy and serves nearly 20,000 students through Crafton Hill College, San Bernardino Valley College, a workforce training facility, and KVCR TV FM. Chancellor Rodriguez is on a mission to open doors of higher education and opportunities for the next generation. And with that, I give you our Chancellor, Chancellor Diane Rodriguez. And I think you want certificates. Let's turn this around so they can get the picture. Oh, this way. She wants to. Oh, over here. Okay. Okay, here you are. These are your certificates. Oh, there it is. Oops. All right. And would you like to please say a few words? Sure. Thank you. You can let them know the enrollment forms are over there. No.
Thank you so much. What an honor to accept the 2023 Jewel Award. And ladies, I just want you to know that I'm up for any therapy, anytime. Anytime, just give me a call.
We'll get a little yellow bus. Okay?
Yep, exactly. Next time I will remember to bring the red lipstick. I'm feeling a little out of place here. But anyway, I want to thank you, Mayor Robertson, and the city of Rialto for this recognition. I'm completely humbled. And also want to extend my gratitude to the San Bernardino Community College District Board of Trustees. And Trustee Williams, thank you for being here. And although Ms. McGee told me that I had about 30 seconds, no more than a minute, I'm going to use the lioness in me and take a couple extra minutes, if you don't mind. Yeah. I also want to thank the people that help me every day do what I do to ensure that our students have the best experience possible within our district. With us today is Associate Vice Chancellor Angel Rodriguez, Vice Chancellor Christina Hannon, Executive Vice Chancellor Jose Torres, and Valley College Interim President Dr. Linda Fontanella. I could not do what I do without your help and support, so Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. You know, as a second-generation Mexican-American, yo soy Latina, and from a small agricultural town, and as a first-generation college student from this university right here, I am proud to call the Inland Empire my home. I am proud. You know, my story is intertwined with the stories of the 20,000 plus students, and most of them are women, that we serve at Crafton Hills College and San Bernardino Valley College. You know, our local students have so much potential, and we are committed to helping them afford college by providing them ample financial aid opportunities, much like our program, Books Plus, where we are again this academic year providing free textbooks and materials to all of our students. Yeah. We want our students to achieve their education and build their life stories right here in the Inland Empire. As we celebrate women who tell their stories, let us not forget that every student's story is unique, is valuable, is powerful, and is worth sharing. Thank you again. Thank you again for this honor. And let's continue together to empower and uplift the next generation of remarkable, bold women. Thank you.
This whole theme is, of course, about telling our story. And this morning when we started off, I was talking with someone and I said, you know, every time this event happens, this is the 17th annual. And thank you, but 17th annual, but I really didn't get to repeat and tell the story. And I said, thinking I want to transition between the awardees and tell you the selections and why. 17 years ago, or whatever, 18, the county, along with an African-American female, Dr. Diane Woods, and a few of us, embarked on a study about the health of people, African-Americans, in this county. And it was conducted and funded by Loma Linda. I believe she was doing her doctorate there. And so when it concluded, the information came out that said that, of course, not surprising, African Americans in this county, health conditions were very dismal. That was very high. But of everything, every indicator, African American women were at the top, and women of color. And so we asked the county, well, you know, what are we going to do, public health? And they weren't rude or anything. They just said we really didn't have a comprehensive health plan or program for the county, let alone for people of color. So we decided we needed to at least do something to begin to put the information out and figure out a way. And I remember I was a council member there. And again, a window of opportunity occurred in Rialto. It was a period when we had 4 out of 7 elected positions were held by women. And that was our current mayor, Grace Vargas, and myself, and another council member, Winnie Hansen. And of course, Barbara was already elected, had been elected since '94, and she's our city clerk. So we came together, and along with staff, Ms. Rodriguez, and we just said, let's just hold something and start talking about our health. And then we started with our health, working with the county, having the public health officer, which, by the way, next year, when we hold this, I will have the public health officer to come, and I want us to get back to some information about our health. The good news, overall, in the 17 years, we have improved in every area. It was amazing. Some of the bad news, though, is that unfortunately, infant mortality in this county is still up. Black infant mortality, it is #1 in Rialto, and we're second in general infant mortality. And the other one is that infant mortality general Number one is Barstow, and second for African American infant mortality is Barstow. So out of that, we started with health, and then we realized we needed to have the conversation expand. We needed to start looking at ourselves about education, financial support, and also controlling our destiny, supporting, and business. So I wanted you to know, again, Ms. McGee and them, I had almost 6 jewels I wanted to acknowledge this year. And we said, let's keep it, to the point where it really shows the importance, although I was looking at the fact that we'd been through COVID-19 and coming out, and I really wanted to give people their flowers now. But so education clearly is important. We must focus on education. We must demand the best education, and we need to hold everybody accountable about the outcome of the product. Okay? I'm not going to be pointing fingers at the mom and father or whoever or what. We all are in this together. So I won't go any further because people know how I feel about that. The other thing is business. As women, it's hard sometimes to start a business, have confidence in yourself about a business, figure out, is that what you want to do? And I always tell people, if you have something you love and that's your passion and that's your skill and your art, that should be what you want to, focus in business. This next person, again, is a resident of Rialto and a wonderful person. And she's been a business owner for over 30 plus years. But I also thought it needed to be, we came out of COVID, pandemic, and we came through it. And some of us had casualties to it. And unfortunately, after 30 years and coming through COVID-19 or the period, her business had to succumb to unfortunately, to the outcomes of COVID. And I felt, but I did not want this to go in time to go without giving her her flowers, her prop, and her praise for being a woman-owned business for over 30 years, okay? So I am just so pleased, so honored to have this person in my life personally, but also just to have a person who is in that space where we can talk about having raised our kids, being supportive of our kids, knowing and having multiple generations, but the children will know. They'll hear the story. Somebody will tell them the story as they get older and older, her grandchildren. But some of them are here today. I'm so happy they're here so they can see their grandmother and their mother being honored and recognized as a jewel awardee. So with that, I'd like to speak as she comes up and read off about Miss Willetta McDowell. Please. Willetta McDowell is a native San Bernardino, California, where she graduated from San Bernardino High School in 1972. She continued her education by graduation from Maranello Comer Beauty School in 1975. From there, Willetta's career started with Glimbly International. She'll correct that, I'm not familiar with them, Glimbly, a well-known hair salon franchise around the world. Willetta, affectionately known as Pokey, envisioned owning her own salon in the beginning of her career. Her vision soon faded as she became more focused on being a wife and mother. In June of 1991, a great opportunity was presented to Mitchell McDowell, Willetta's late husband. Mitchell purchased the salon unbeknownst to Willetta, and he gifted her with Gogi's Hair Fashions located in Rialto, later renamed Hair Biz Salon, knowing full well by then she no longer had the desire to have a salon of her own. Now he shows up with it. As the Hair Biz Salon grew, so did the dedication they had as a Hair Biz family. Their 30-year success carried them to great lengths of accomplishments. Hair Biz was the first salon to advertise at a major movie theater in the Inland Empire. Created the first annual Inland Empire Sickle Cell charitable event, participated in breast cancer awareness, AIDS walkathon, Swan socialites, Rialto beauty pageants, hair shows and competitions, as well as hosting other charitable and community events. Having Willetta McDowell as an owner with such drive and tenacity and a loyal hairstyling team, by the way, you guys, we did a little red color yesterday. I'm going blonde though after seeing CJ. That's it next. Styling team can lead your visions to become a reality. And with this, I want to give you guys my love, my friend, my personal hairstylist, Miss Willetta McDowell.
Hello, hello, hello. I don't have a speech written out, but I'm just going to come from the heart. First of all, I thank God. And I know a lot of you out there stand with me. The pandemic, as I call it, the plague, unknown, was not an easy thing. And after 30 years being that comfortable, it wasn't very easy to walk away. When I was younger, if I needed to go to another salon, it wouldn't be so hard. But when you've been in a comfort zone, in a team, the team that I had was outstanding. It just was just nice, all the things that we did, the many things that we did. But as I look out in this beautiful, beautiful event, State of Women, it's just so nice. Mayor Robertson says, you need to be there. So here I am, thanking God, thanking the State of Women, thanking my family, and just being glad that I too am still standing. Yes. God is a witness to that. I thank him very dearly, and I thank you all for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Oh, and my family too.
And your family, all right
My
there.
boys are my family, yeah.
One woman and how many? 4 boys?
4 boys.
4 boys.
And
Oh
lots
my.
of grandbabies.
And she said, thanking me, even though it's gone, every day I talk about, well, you know, we could start it this kind of way, and you could do this. And she looks at me like, I don't know. We'll get back to me. Right. Thank you. We made it. We're still standing. Okay, well, while we transition from the awardees, I think Mayor Warren and I are about at the end of our duties.
Yes.
Okay, so.
I'm gonna call-
Do you want us to maybe get a sign-up sheet in the back? Those who would like to be a part of our party bus as we go out to check.
I got a feeling after this announcement, we're gonna get a couple of calls.
But anyway, no, I know that you've done this for us so many years and constantly, and she is the resident MC, okay? I don't care where she's at. She could be in Greece. She could be over in Canada. She can be somewhere on the continent of Africa. She better be here on the first Saturday of March, you know. Just, that's it, wherever we hold it. And I just want to say it's an honor and pleasure. Usually, she and I conclude, and I know they're going to come up and start the raffle, but we generally go out and treat her to a wonderful day, and we will be doing it, other than to the casino. That we do. We'll be going somewhere special, but I just want to always say, it is just a pleasure for me and you to do our tag team thing together, and just I just really love you. Love having you in my space. We're like day and night somewhat, or teaching tongue, but you know.
Yeah,
what can
sometimes I
say?
just go,
Whatever. Okay. So anyway, would you guys join with me in giving my MC and my good friend a round of applause? You know, before I give the closing remarks, I just have to tell all of you, you have been an incredible audience today. You have been incredible. And, you know, this is the official month for women. It's our history, it's our future. But we have a lot of things going on in this region that are worth praying about. And we need to pray for our leadership. Look, I want you all. We talk about how we can help each other as women. I'm paying close attention to my other sisters in the other cities and in my city so that they have the strength. I want you to keep the mayor of San Bernardino, Helen Tran, and Councilwoman Kimberly Calvin in your prayers. They're the nuance of us making sure that this region stays strong. Let's give them a big hand, okay? You know, people always tell me, I don't want to come to you acting like you're always mad. That's just who I am. That's who I am. But I'm not mad at you. I'm glad for you. And then I want you to make sure you keep Dr. Rogers in your prayers. She's leading the county San Bernardino education. Our kids need our help. They need our help. And if we got leaders like herself and Joseph Williams running the things that they need to do, we need to make sure we keep them in prayer. And then keep my good friend Jermaine Key in prayer, our new city clerk in Fontana. She is on the cups of learning more than she probably thought she was going to have to learn, but she's doing an incredible job. So keep her in prayer. And don't forget my little baby, Angie Garcia. That's what I call her, my baby. She's in West Valley Water. People don't realize this woman is a biologist, geologist, scientist. This is a heavyweight running our water. So we got to make sure we keep her in prayer. And don't ever forget the great mayor of Rialto and the great city clerk and all the people that support them, because they mean to do community no matter what. So give them a big hand. Now I'm going to tell you something. Governmental agencies are only as good as you are. If you allow us to run amok and do whatever we want to do, when we want to do it, and how we want to do it, and don't say anything, don't complain. There are some of you in here that will call me in a minute and say, no, you didn't. You need to do that for all the rest of them too, okay? We're going to recognize that the testament of work that was done here today is for you to network. Even if we roll our eyes because you want another picture, take the picture. It's okay. But I want to thank you for allowing me the opportunity to share with you today. And I know I'm always mentioning my daughter, but that's my little heart there. That's my heart. I'm so proud of her. I'm so proud of Charlie. All these were kids in our back seats listening to me and Deborah and Barbara plot every week. And they were just sitting back there grinning because they knew we would forget to leave. We'd leave our pocketbooks open and they could get whatever they could out of there and go do what they wanted. I remember I heard Ija tell her cousins one night, they said, we're so sick of your mom, she won't stop talking. Hey, calm down, I just got a 20. It's all good, it's all good. And now you see these young women coming right on up. And all my seniors from Fontana, I see you out there from Rialto, you make it rock, okay? I just want to be like y'all when I grow up. And don't worry about the cane and the limping and all of that. Last year was a tremendous year in Fontana, and I would not listen to my doctors. I'm listening now, though. So pray for me. March 16, they say they're going to fix me, so I'm good. This is not permanent. But I really, really love this event because I love being a woman.
I love being a mom and a grandmother and a friend. And I love all of you. So thank you. Let us put our hands together to thank all of our great sponsors. Without them, we couldn't have this great food, this great place, and these wonderful baskets, okay? And check out the vendors, and everyone will see you next year.